light and joy and peace abide in me. I know the first time I did the course, I started to believe and started to think that this course was just about coming to peace, coming to know and feel love again, but mostly just to be peaceful. And that's acceptable and might be helpful for your first time around and not taking it quite to the extreme. But everybody's guided and understands as much as they need to for the steps that they are taking. So you're on the steps and you're taking the steps, and you can only do as much as you can handle. And this, as far as understanding it as going for peace, is really just a step. Yes, peace, love, light abide in you just like in anywhere else and everywhere else. But when we get into recognizing what this means, is that you have an idea of yourself that is completely messed up. Let's get real. It's like, oh, but if you only knew what I did, oh man, you would be freaking out right now, right? If you only knew, even if I knew my real self, man, would I be finding an angel or a demon? It's pretty interesting when we get into it that we can't even really grasp and recognize that love within ourselves, that truth about ourselves, and embracing it. So it's an interesting thing, because as this lesson is saying that, one you made and is not real, and the other God made and is the only thing that exists. And then you're sitting here, you're looking at yourself, you're like, all I see is the one I made. All I see is what I made, and yet you're telling me that's the one that doesn't exist. It's like, if I can't even see the one that you made, or that God made, right? I can't see that one, so that one doesn't exist. And so, is it, and I want to ask in an inquiring manner, is it that you misunderstand which one's you and are obsessed over an illusion? Or do you just have a wrong idea about what you're seeing? So, kind of in the same spectrum here, but the fact that you look at yourself and you like and dislike different attributes and different actions, different things you've done. These are just plain out wrong. You can't really, unless you judge. Okay, let's say this right. If you judge, you can determine the actions that you have done as good or bad. You can, if you judge, you can decide if you are more loving or less loving. If you judge, you can see if you're at peace or not at peace. If you judge, can I say it louder? If you judge, then, only then, can you tell if you are not at peace, if you are not loved, if you are not joyful, if you are not light. Only when you have the capability to judge. It is that determining factor and that judging good and evil, rights and wrongs. It is the ability to judge in which makes this world seem real. That is what you're surrendering when you're forgiving. You're forgiving the ability to judge. And this goes with you and everyone. You have to forgive yourself, which means you surrender the ability to judge yourself. And that's not judging as in, oh, I'm just such a bad person. No, I'm just is what I is. And yes, that's true. But you don't know what that is. Right? So you can't tell and determine if you're a good person or a bad person. You is what you is. Right? You are what you are. If you actually see you as you are, the only guilty party in every scenario, as much as you want to say this is an illusionary reality, the only guilty party for anything in all existence is God. Is God wrong? It's a little confusing. You go down this road, you're like, wait a second. You're telling me, but God did not create this world. God did not create this disaster. Oh, but God created this. Remember, the way you see the world is by your decision. You are seeing it through eyes of judgment. That is not just eyes of judgment of, oh, they're pretty and ugly and cute and disgusting. And it is, judging is the physical world. Judging is physical. The metaphor used is the knowledge of good and evil. And if you take about the knowledge of good and evil, you will no longer know God, and you will die. The knowledge of good and evil is referencing to the fact that you can determine if something is good or evil. You have knowledge of both. So now you're judging everything in between. You're judging. And now you're in a body, in a world, where you will die. Okay? So it's a pretty interesting thing. That the world as it is, and as it's been intended for you to experience, is not physical. It's not physical at all. So yes, of course, the answer, the solution, the peace, the joy that you're looking for, the love, everything is there within you. Everything is reachable. Everything. And in that same right, everything's miraculous. Even if it's negative, it's a miracle in which you're manifesting negativity. It's a miracle in which you're manifesting positivity. It's a miracle in which it's manifesting. It doesn't matter what it is. It's the fact that it is. That's the miracle. Of course, we don't always grasp, and we're trying to figure it out. Like, man, who am I? What am I? Yes, I'm such a terrible person. I used to do this, and I used to do that, and I'm accused of this, and oh, I went to jail for that. And we can't recognize what we are as simply, we're doing with what we got, right? We're doing the best with what we got. And that's the problem, is like we can't see a way out. Literally, you cannot get out with it. You can't get out of it with it. So that's why meditation is so important in this questioning practice and getting into really the depths of your mind, is that you have to recognize that what you are is far more than what you think of yourself to be.